Welcome back. We are starting a unit on ratios and proportions, and our first section is dealing with ratios and rates. So we need to define what we mean by a ratio or a rate. A ratio is just a comparison of numbers using division. Okay, so it's basically a fraction. And oftentimes ratios have the same thing that you're comparing or the same units. Not always, but oftentimes you'll be comparing the same thing. A rate, on the other hand, is a ratio or a fraction that compares two quantities that have different kinds of units. And a special kind of rate that we will be talking about is a unit rate. And when you have a rate that you have a denominator of 1, that's called a unit rate, so like dollars per hour, miles per gallon. So you're very familiar with what unit rates are. You may not recognize that's what it was called, though. Our objective then for this lesson is to go ahead and express ratios as fractions in simplest form and to determine what unit rates are for different examples. In these examples, we want to write our ratios in simplest form. So for example, if we have 3 nonfiction books out of a total of 12 books, how could we write that as a ratio? Well, we could write that as 3 books to 12 books, which we can reduce, if we divide both by 3, as a ratio of 1 to 4. We can also write it as a colon 1 to 4, so we can write it in a fractional form. We can write it in with a colon, or we can write it with the word 2. So those are the 3 ways of expressing ratios. How about 20 minutes of exercise to 1 hour of studying? Well, we have different units here, but we can convert these units to be the same, right? We could either convert minutes to hours or hours to minutes. It's probably easier to do hours to minutes. So we could do 20 minutes to 60 minutes. There are 60 minutes in an hour. And we can divide both of those by 20, giving us 1 minute to 3 minutes. That's a ratio of 1 to 3. 16 pepperoni pizzas out of 24 pizzas, so we could have 16 over 24, but both of those can be divided by 8, giving us a ratio of 2 to 3. 8 ounces of butter to 1 pound of flour, so we have 8 ounces to 16 ounces. 1 pound is 16 ounces. So 8 to 16 reduces to 1 to 2 as a ratio. A unit rate then, remember that has a denominator of 0, and these are usually different kinds of units. So this one says Lloyd worked one Saturday for 6 hours and he earned $40. What was his average rate of pay in dollars per hour? So we want dollars on the top divided by hours on the bottom. So we're going to put 40 divided by 6, and then we're going to divide both numbers by 6. So 40 divided by 6 gives us 6.67. 6 divided by 6 gives us 1. And we want to make sure that we're always including our units in these, so it's dollars per hour. So it's $6.67 per hour. Here's an example, 2 more examples. Let's see if you can do these on your own. Express each rate as a unit rate, and I'll give you these solutions when you come back. All right, let's take a look. 24 tickets for 8 rides. So you could write that as 24 over 8 tickets for 8 rides. So how many tickets per ride is that? That's 3 tickets for every ride. 4 inches of rain in 5 hours. So it's 4 inches to 5 hours. And that simplifies to 0.8 inches in 1 hour. Remember, we're looking for a unit rate, so we need that bottom number to be 1. So 4 divided by 5 gives us the 0.8, and then we list the bottom as 1. Here we're going to compare some unit rates. This problem says the population of Pennsylvania is about 12,300,000. Population of Kentucky is about 4 million. If there are 19 members of the U.S. House of Representatives from Pennsylvania and 6 from Kentucky, in which state does a member represent more people? Well, the main thing here that you need to keep straight are which things go with which state. So I'm going to underline some things in color here. So population of Pennsylvania, 12,300,000. How many representatives did Pennsylvania get? They got 19 members, right? And then the other one that we're talking about is Kentucky. So its population was 4 million and it got 6, right? Representatives. So if we take a look at Pennsylvania, we can take their number of people, their population divided by their number of representatives. 12,300,000 divided by 19 gives us about 650,000 people per representative. That's the unit rate. And we get that by dividing both numbers by 19. Okay, so that's the unit rate. Likewise, we can do that for Kentucky. 4 million divided by 6 representatives gives us 670,000 people per representative. So which one, the question asks us, in which state does a member represent more people? Well, right here, our unit rate is bigger for Kentucky, so a member represents more people in Kentucky than it does in Pennsylvania. Here are 2 problems for you to try. Go ahead and pause the video, see if you can find which is a better buy here. So you're going to be finding unit rates and explain your reasoning if you can. And we'll give you the solution when you get back. All right, let's take a look. A 17-ounce box of cereal for $4.89. So we're going to be wanting to find the unit rate, what the cost per ounce is. So that one's going to be $4.89, and that gives us a total of 17 ounces. So what is that in dollars per ounce? So we're going to take $4.89, divide that by 17, and we get about 29 cents. I'm going to write that as 0.288. I don't know how many decimal values we need to go to here. We'll see how close they are. The next one gives us $5.69 for 21 ounces. So if we take 5.69 divided by 21, we end up with 0.271. 0.271, so 27 cents per ounce. I better put my ounces in here as well. So which one's the better buy? Well, you're paying almost 29 cents an ounce here, you're paying 27 cents an ounce here. So the better buy is the 21 ounce, okay? Because it's a lower cost per ounce. So let me go ahead and I'll underline the one that's the better buy. 21-ounce box. That's the better buy. All right, let's take a look at the other one. 6 cans of green beans for $1, so $1 for 6 cans. And how much is that per can? So 1 divided by 6 gives us about 0.16 repeating per can, or $1.95 for 10 cans. Well, we know when we divide by 10, that just moves our decimal place 1 place, so it's 0.195 per can. Which one's cheaper? Okay, would you rather pay 19.5 cents per can or 16 cents a can? I think I would rather pay the 16 cents a can, so the better deal here is the 6 cans for $1. Okay? All right, here are some problems for you to try on your own. Make sure on your ratios, if you can put those in the same units, to do that. If you can't, then just make sure you label what your units are, and bring these answers or these problems to class with you next time. We'll see you then.